Greetings, groovy people! Welcome to my channel. This is the self-proclaimed Blue Dragon. I haven't really explained this channel in a while. I'm a freelance artist who primarily works on a free, not safe for work webcomic, Dark Horse, but I also from time to time work on, some other projects. Sometimes I'll do like a Friday night video or, something like that. Links to my comics and blog and all that good stuff are down in the description. Every month I do a Q&A video for my patrons at the $10 level on up. Their questions always take precedence, and they tend to dictate what each Q&A video's theme is going to be. I do try to also address questions from my readers that are not patrons, because I like to get questions from everyone. I just tend to give the patrons precedence, seeing as that's part of the level reward. Last month, I did actually run out of time for the questions from my readers, simply because, as I mentioned, the other ones come first. So, this month, the title of the video, the Q&A video, is Cluttered Spaces, and I'll get into why a little bit later. But because I do have some questions about how I work, and some questions about the stuff I use, and I got 2 questions about Dark Horse, I am going to try to be a little organized in this video, kind of group those questions up. First, I will be addressing the questions that don't have any spoilers, like how I work and where I work and stuff like that. And then I'll address the Act 4 question, and then I will address the Act 6 question. I will put up a spoiler warning to a time skip when we get to the Act 6 question. Real quick, in the background, I am working on another Act 6 web short. This one is starring Keisuma as a snake oil salesman. I was listening to Traffic's Last Exit, the vinyl, the US vinyl I should say, and I was just giggling like a madman throughout the song because I suddenly just pictured Keisuma being this sleazy, trying to be classy salesman, something like Out of Life with Father. But you can check out the Traffic song in the upper right hand corner at the iCard. It's a great song. It's late 60s, that's mostly what I listen to. I mean, I listen to everything, but yeah, anyway. Moving on. Let's get to the questions. First one. Somebody asked me, what does your studio look like? Or office, or whatever. I do usually share pictures with my patrons as an update if something changes in my workspace, but with the chaos of our move at the end of March, I have been trying to catch up and I haven't had a chance to do a blog for those at the $3 level or higher, so that's coming. I will be sharing it with you patrons and giving a little bit more detail, but for the person asking this question, here's a couple photos of the space that I'm currently working in. My partner was kind enough to give me the window view. We had kind of been politely debating back and forth, offering each other the space, but in the end, I ended up getting it. So it was very kind of him. There's a little bit, mostly there's a factory out the window, but I can see the mountains in the distance. I can kind of see the Portland area. Yeah, so it was kind of bordering silly for a while there. But yeah, I have 2 desks. I do different things at each desk. Mostly the one that I'm using the least amount gets cluttered with just stacks of paper and books and stuff that, research materials and notebooks and stuff like that I need to access quickly, and then I can't access anything because it becomes a giant pile. But I know where things are even though it's disorganized, but I do need to get organized again. It's weird. It's one of those things where it's like I know where something is in a stack, even though it looks messy, I know where it is. But anyway, I digress. I need better organization. I've got stuff to organize. It's just my desk is a reflection of my cluttered mind. I've always got like 20 some odd things going on in there, so then I've got like 50 billion things on my desk. But I did clean it off for the photos, so just for you guys. Next up, what materials do you use? I'm going to tackle that question first because it's kind of a 2-part question. What's your favorite is the second part. I actually use a variety of stuff. It depends on what I'm working on. For Dark Horse, I use the Zig Kuratake Sumi ink because I know that the product itself is vegan, and if I choose to color with Copics, they're alcohol-based markers, so it will not smudge. For the Whimper in the Dark, Wind as I call it, it's the gory-esque Lovecraftian dog comic that I rarely work on, but I do have a few videos on it, link in the iCard. But I am trying to use up the rest of my India ink, and so once it's gone, I'm going to be switching to Sumi. I also use the Winsor Newton colored inks. I think they're vegan. I looked it up. Somebody bought it for me. That's besides the point. I'm not going to insult someone who doesn't know and gets me something. I mean, why? Why? What end does that reach? So yeah, I'm going to use that up, then I'll do some actual research whenever I go to buy more. Same deal with the Dr. Is it PH Martin's? Such a weird name for a brand. Anyway, again, those were gifted to me, and again, when they run out, I will look up what's in them. I like them all. I mean, they all function. They all work. I do kind of, well, I'm going to get into that in a minute. The paper that I work on is the Canson Pro Layout Marker paper. It's 9x12. It's, I looked it up on a website. It is vegan. Wind uses Copic A4 bleed-proof paper. I have no idea if it's vegan. I will be more discerning in the future when I go back to buy that product and... or not buy that product, depends. Yeah, it's interesting though, like, all the things you learn, like, learning how things get put together. If anyone wants me to do a video on, like, paper sizing, when you think about paper, you don't usually think about animal products, but they use the gelatin sometimes as, like, a sizing to make the, toothing, the fiber stick together, and a lot of times they use that in like printer paper particularly, but for some things they use like different things. A lot of times people are using synthetics now too, so if anyone's interested in making me get off my ass and do some research, I will do a Friday night video on that, but you need to tell me you want it, because I'm not going to do it unless I feel like doing it, in which case, yeah, whatever. I'm contrary. Sorry y'all. What do I like the best? While I do like India ink, I like how smooth it writes, and I like how shiny it is when it dries. It is a very pretty ink, and it is very, you know, everything has its pros and cons, but to my understanding, India ink is probably, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called when, like, it lasts forever. I can't remember. It'll come to me after I record this. Maybe I'll put it up in the floating text, but it does last forever. But for my purposes, you know, I get more bang for my buck with Sumi ink. It's cheaper. I get more of it. I like the way it smells. Yes, I sniff my ink. No, I don't suggest doing it. I don't know if it kills brain cells. If I have any indication of it, maybe don't smell it. I also like that it works better with Copic, so yeah, I mean, Sumi's fine. I like it. I have nothing wrong with it. And you can water it down and do like different things. You know, it was traditionally used, you know, for paintings and stuff, so I'm all down for Sumi. I like them both. You know, it just depends on what you're doing and what you're mixing with the ink, really. Because if you're going to do watercolors, you're going to want India ink. But I'm running out of time, so I need to get a fucking move on. Sorry, y'all. Act 4 question. Why is Yuli so nervous to ask Ren out? In the flash forward, in the revamp, it's 2002, which, you know, number 1, Ren is his superior officer. She's Kana's right-hand man, I think is what she is. But also, Odysseus was 16 when he met her, but he just had a birthday, I think, in July. I need to look up the dates, the birthdays for everyone, but he's just turned 17, and she is 18, so she's older, a little bit more experienced than him, not by much. Her birthday's in February. And then 3, he's somewhat shy anyhow, so think about it, she's very Word of Wednesday, bombastic, she's energetic, she can be a little bit intimidating for someone who is shy, because she is kind of in your face, and crazy. She's a little crazy. I hope people are getting that she's a little crazy. Not crazy, but like all over the damn place. Yeah, he also doesn't know much about anyone that's LGB. I am intentionally leaving out the T. I'm not trying to insult anyone or any of the other letters, because he does not know if she is lesbian, he does not know if she is bi, and if he asks her and she's a lesbian, he doesn't want to like insult her or make her uncomfortable. He has no idea how she's going to react, so he's a little bit nervous because he's never been around anyone like that, because he's 17. And it was the 90s, so yeah, he's going to be a little bit nervous. Okay, Act 6, question time. Skip to this timestamp. The question is, were the dragon people sealed away like K-Suma was sealed away? Short answer, no. Longer, they are neither fairies nor demons. D-A-E-M-O-N. I don't know the name of that A and the E. It's connected. Somebody school me down in the comments. They're also not human. They are beyond all that. That's all I can say. So no, they were not sealed away. I don't want to give spoilers. I'm not trying to sound angry. I'm not angry, you guys. Yeah, so it's my turn for a question. The question of the week. What materials or medium do you like to work in? And or do you have a paper suggestion for me? I do love Bristol a lot. I will do any research I need to for my personal moral standards, so don't be shy in suggesting something unless you want to do the research yourself. I will look it up, share what you use, don't be shy, don't think I'm trying to like project any guilt onto you. I want to know what you do, what you like, so share it down below. And if you want first grab at the questions, please consider becoming a $10 patron or $10 subscribe star. Folks over there, they can also ask questions if they want, in order to have first grab at the questions. I do try to answer other questions as well. Alternatively, you can like, sub, or do the bell thing. That all helps out too, and it doesn't cost a thing other than your time, and I appreciate that because that's great. I do appreciate it. Peace and love. Fare you well. And keep on trucking.